Good morning, beloveds. So we are back in the high pressure zone, literally the heat dome. It is going to be in the triple digits for the next few days, probably the next 10 days. So please be aware of the heat. Take care of yourself. Stay cool. Drink plenty of water. All right. It is July 11th. Our title is Unification with God. Our author is Ruth Knox from Prayer of the Heart from 1992. So, the experience of oneness with God is known to surpass all other human experience. No other experience is as reliable, potentially present, available, or capable of providing wholeness, harmony, and peace. Uniting and remaining united with God is an inner attitude of mind and heart. As an inner attitude of mind and heart has so much to offer that it is seen as the only true purpose of life. To accomplish this unification while living in the midst of your everyday practical life can become a statement of living life to its fullest capacity. The journey towards attaining oneness with God is long and difficult, and setting forth requires complete faith in an indefinable experience which is not guaranteed except possibly by grace. In spite of the difficulties, religion and philosophical writers continue to aim the practicant towards unification. Saint Dmitry of Rostov, a Russian monastic, speaks of the duty of all Christians to strive always and in every way to be united with God, because the center and the final purpose of the soul must be God itself alone and nothing else. I'm going to have to think about that one. I'm going to think about that one. But I am going to remind you that the second step of treatment. The first step of treatment is recognition. Recognizing that God is all there is. Okay? The second step of treatment is unification. It's recognizing where you come from, where we all come from, that we all come from God. Therefore, if we want to do what Jesus did, then we do what Jesus did, which is to unite with God. How many times did Jesus say, the Father and I are one, God and I are one? And he always started out any of his miracles with that statement, the Father and I are one. So the statement of unification is where we recognize God. One, recognition, God is all there is. Unification, recognize, okay, if God is all there is, then I am part of God. Which is why I like to use the word divine splinter. It gives me that sense of, because we can't conceptualize God. It's too big. It's mind-blowingly big. So, that's why I used the divine spark. So, the soul that we use is God's soul. We've just individualized out a little tiny part of it for ourselves. But that means that everything that God is available to us if we are willing to put in the work to align with it. So when we talk about peace and joy and harmony, and what were some of the other things, because she used those words too, peace, joy, harmony, wholeness, that's the word she used that I didn't. All of those are available to us by recognizing that we are from that. So that's why that's the second step of treatment. So now, I don't know that I agree with her. The journey towards attaining oneness with God is long and difficult. I do agree with her that setting forth requires complete faith in an indefinable experience. Okay? Because nobody can explain to you what it's going to feel like. They can explain to you in terms of how they've experienced it, but that doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to experience it the same way. I hesitate to tell people that it's going to be a long and difficult journey because I don't want people to lose hope. I do agree with her about it being indefinable, an indefinable experience, because everybody's going to experience it differently. Now, and I kind of agree with her about it being the true purpose of life. The true purpose of life is to recognize who we are. To recognize who we are and to recognize who each other's are. There's a meme that goes around regularly. You will never look in the eyes of somebody that God does not love. And I like to remind you that when you look in your own eyes, like when you're looking in a mirror, then you are looking into the eyes of God. So the true purpose, and also, I guess this goes back to the long and difficult journey. The material world is messy. It is messy. It is chaotic. It's very confusing, and it can throw us off our purpose. It can throw us off our purpose. So, okay. Carol Ruth Knox. I don't think that there is any purpose that we could have that would be higher than attaining oneness with God. Because if we do that, well, it's the recognition. I mean, we are one with, because God is all there is. So it's the consistent conscious recognition of the oneness with Spirit at all times. That is the goal. And when you recognize that, you move through the material world differently. And when we move through the material world differently, then we influence the material world differently. And then we can get on where we create a world that works for everybody. It's like, what is your work to do in creating a world that works for everybody? Know who you are. And once you know who you are, which is the beloved child of God, then you work on recognizing that everybody else is a beloved child of God. And then what do we do to create a world that works for everybody? That's it. All right. Okay. The mission today, should we choose to accept it? Oh. Well, she says it right there. To strive always and in every way to be united with God. That's the mission today, should we choose to accept it. And I can't tell you how to do that outside of, because everybody's experience is different. Everybody's experience is different. Outside of recognizing that it's all God. And then the second part of the mission is the other way to do it, is to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Practice on yourself. Practice love, practice kindness, practice compassion on yourself. It's easy to do it on other people. Practicing it on ourselves is a little bit more of a challenge most of the time, which is why I encourage us to practice on ourselves. We are our own best test subjects. But also, when you practice love, kindness, and compassion on yourself, then you are creating a well-worn path to the source of your own being, to the infinite source of love, kindness, and compassion. So that when you meet people who need a little extra love, kindness, and compassion, you have it available. Because you are connected to the infinite source of it. In that unification. It kind of all comes back to that. And when you need a little extra, again, you are connected to the infinite source of it. So practice on yourself. And it looks like as simple as taking a deep breath before you speak, especially when you speak to yourself. if you listen to yourself talk sometimes, that's my suggestion. I also remind you, it looks like taking a break. It looks like taking a nap. It looks like taking a walk. It looks like saying no, especially to things that do not support your unification process. But it also looks like saying yes to things that push you a little out of your comfort zone. So there is the divine yes and the divine no. Keep that in mind. But it also looks like eating dessert first. Okay. I want to remind you that 1, your life is a special occasion. Don't save the good stuff. And 2, it looks like making room for joy. One of the qualities of God is joy. So I want to remind you that no matter what is going on in the world, you deserve joy. Make room for joy. And that looks like, wearing the nice clothes or the comfortable clothes. I'm hoping your nice clothes are comfortable. It looks like eating the good stuff. It looks like using the nice dishware, silverware, glassware. Don't save the good stuff. Your life is a special occasion. Make room for joy. Okay, so we've got our mission. And I keep using those words consistent and conscious. So that's part of it. Consistently and consciously being loving, kind, and compassionate with yourself. Okay. Where am I? Oh, the rest of the suggestions. Do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like. Please drink plenty of water. Where I live, it is very hot. And I want, please hydrate. Your brain works better when it is well hydrated. And I do remind you to get early in your day bright light. Here's where I'm talking about a natural hormone cycle. I'm talking about science, where that 5 to 10 minutes that you get of early in your day bright light, sunlight is best, but artificial light will help too. It helps to reset that circadian rhythm, to reset those hormones. You'll have more energy during the day. You'll sleep better at night. Try it. You might like it. It'll help. I know I can wake up kind of groggy and crabby, but when I get out there and get that sun on my bike, it helps me wake up a whole lot better than anything else that I could do. And I am not allowed to drink coffee for a variety of reasons. So, and as always, as I'm going to quote Ernest Holmes, as I always do, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you that you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. Okay? Because heaven is a mindset. It is a state of consciousness. If the point of our life is to unify with God, it's to recognize that that's what heaven is. Unification. Unification with the only thing there really is. It's all God. So, please. And there's a variety of ways that you can do that. Music. Reading, pretty much reading anything that sets your soul on fire. Same with the music. If it sets your soul on fire, that is opening the windows of your soul. Watching things like this, and so on and forward. So, please. And as always, you can take Emma's advice. Look for the good and praise it. It does not have to be a long and difficult journey. It is about consciously and consistently recognizing where you come from and who you are and who every living thing around you is, which is, again, beloved child of God. There's not an exam at the end of this. I'm going to give you the answer. All right. And as always, you can take Emma's advice. Look for the good and praise it. Gratitude will absolutely get you everywhere. If we are going to take this step in unification with the source of our own being, gratitude, great way to do that. Look for the good and praise it. That's a good way to make room for joy too. Look for the good and praise it. All right. And that is Emma. So, I guess I'm at the social media part where I remind you we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I want to remind you, and I'm the running Rev Ryan. I want to remind you we've got, light, bright, funny, uplifting content on there. That's what we try and put out. So please avail yourself of that. If you want to know what's going on with the center, please email info@creativelife.org. That gets you on the constant contact. That will get you on, the hot links are hot. If it says click here now, it'll either take you right to the information, like the YouTube channel, or to the person that will help you get it. All right, I'm moving on. I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a consistent day, a conscious day, a unification day, a recognition day, a know who you are day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You're a beloved child of God. You are a divine spark, a brilliant light. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. Or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you're a godling. All right? Know the truth of your being. That is kind of one of those first steps on that unification process of knowing who you are. Know who you come from. All right? Know who you are. Know whose you are. And every step after that. All right. Jumping forward. Nope. I'm just going to remind you, Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.